Hello everybody, it's Daniel here, bringing you a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary once again, and it's good to be back as well. I actually took a bit of a break the past week. I had myself a little trip to the Irish countryside, and since returning from that, I've just been trying to catch up on the various projects I have going on in my life currently. The most dominant of which is that college is on the horizon, and there's a lot that I have to prepare for that. But it's good to be back nonetheless. Today I want to talk about what I believe to be the healthiest way to engage with Team Fortress 2, the healthiest way to play the game in fact, and the method that I've practiced for pretty much the 5 years that I've played it. And I'm going to give you the shorthand answer and then dive on into some explanations after that. The shorthand answer is that you play it in bursts. I believe Team Fortress 2 to be a casual pick up and play shooter. It's very easy to hop on into and find a couple of games for, and it's also very easy to hop on out of whenever you've had your fill for the evening. It's the way I've played the game for many years, and it's one of the prime reasons that I've stuck with it. I've never felt truly obligated or forced to play this game at any point over the 5 years that I've played it, because I can just take a break, I can play some other games, it's free, I'm not on a subscription service or anything like that, and really the only progression things I have to work towards in this game, the only forms of new content there really is whenever there's new weapon unlocks, just obtaining them, and even then, that's not really too much of a task. You can get those things fairly quickly whenever they're released. It's kind of interesting, and it is something I talked about in the previous commentary, but Team Fortress 2 doesn't really have a progression system outside of unlocking all the weapons. That's kind of it, and everything else when it comes to this game are your goals that you have set yourself. And this ties really nicely into why it's such a healthy way to play this game. And it is that because Team Fortress 2, I believe, is an objective, self-driven game. You're not actually given like a final boss to strive towards, or a final ultimate rank to obtain. Now bear with me on this as well. Some of you might be instantly jumping to, oh, but casual mode and ranked play have ranks. Bear with me on that. You don't actually have these sort of like long-term objectives. More so, you're free to set whatever objective you like, and then sort of just work towards that, and then go a little further if you like after that. You're not being forced, and you're not having to negate it behind you to continually strive towards these goals. That's why I asked you to bear with me there as well. Because although there is a max rank when it comes to casual, and there is a max rank when it comes to ranked play, you don't actually have to obtain them. You're not going to get any reward if you obtain them, and there's going to be no consequence if you don't obtain them. It's pretty much standard Team Fortress 2 if you think about it in that sense, because we still only have the base progression system, which is just unlocking the weapons. Like, that's the only thing that's actually going to make a difference when it comes to playing this game over an extended period of times. You're going to have more tools to work with. Having a different category of shiny metal ain't exactly going to do much. But granted, if you want to work towards that shiny metal, by all means go for it. And that's sort of like the joy of being able to play this game in bursts, because you can set yourself an objective for the evening, you can set yourself an objective for the next couple of months that you want to work towards, and just go for it at your own pace, because there's honestly no time constraints on anything. There's no like gated time exclusive content for the most part when it comes to Team Fortress 2. We do have the contracts that do pop up every now and then that have like a 3-month period on them, but even then that's like 3 months. That's a fair bit of time to work towards them, and even then you can kind of see with the amount of contracts that are released that it's actually not too stressful to even work towards. You're not going to be like sitting sweating at your desk. It's like, oh god, I gotta get home, I gotta fulfill my contract, it's gonna go. It's nothing like that. Like, they even backlog them, so again, there's no stress. It's very relaxed nature in that regard. And this is the key thing to bear in mind when it comes to playing the game in a healthy way. It's the fact that it has to be relaxed. If you feel at any point obligated to play a game, if you feel like you're playing a game and you don't fully understand why you're playing it, or if you're not particularly having much fun, then it's time to take a break. And this is something that I believe everyone should exercise when it comes to any game, even outside of Team Fortress 2. It's something that I've done myself for many, many years when it comes to just playing games in general. Like, you kind of fluctuate and go back and forth between things, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, even for the most diehard of TF2 fans. A lot of people got a bit upset when Overwatch released in the Team Fortress 2 community, simply because it looked like a lot of people were hopping out of the game that they've invested so much time into and playing Blizzard's new big toy box that they've released over there. on one hand, you might think that's like, oh, they're all portraying Team Fortress 2, but really, that's a silly notion. They're just trying something fresh. They're having a breath of fresh air and trying something a bit fun. Because, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the reason that most of us even started playing Team Fortress 2 as is. There's even an interesting stigma that's been created in the community where people get generally upset if like you even post videos on Overwatch related content. Sorry to go off on just a brief little tangent here, but it's quite interesting because that signifies to me that it's actually a very unhealthy way to look at the game. Because the people who are getting upset whenever someone uploads a video on Overwatch are the people who are demanding that you play Team Fortress 2 and you play Team Fortress 2 only. They're the ones that are making people feel obligated to play the game constantly, I feel. And that puts a lot of stress upon the people making those videos because they're getting like hate messages if they try and just take a break and do something else that's fun. I genuinely think that's kind of appalling, and it's something that we definitely need to work on as a community. Now thankfully for myself, I've been a little luckier than most, and I don't get too much criticism whenever I upload something Overwatch related. It might be due to the fact that I've only actually made 2 Overwatch videos, but even then I don't get too much criticism when it comes to uploading any of the other videos, like the Hearthstone and the Pokemon stuff. I don't get too much slack whenever those things go up. Because for me, those are one of my ways of actually taking a break from Team Fortress 2. It's my way of like retaining my sanity, because I think even again, for the most diehard of fans, if all I did was play Team Fortress 2, I think it would drive you insane. I think it would drive anyone insane. I know you force you into like a pressured, sort of obligated spot where you feel like there is no escape, and it would just completely ruin the fun, sort of hop in, hop out nature of the game. The relaxed atmosphere is completely taken away in that scenario. So the healthiest way to play Team Fortress 2 really is to kind of play it on and off. Like again, past week I've just taken a complete break from actually playing it. And what this means is that I'm probably going to come back to playing the game with some new ideas in my head and new challenges that I want to set myself. Because again, everything in Team Fortress 2 is kind of self-motivated. Like, look at all the communities we have set up for this game. If you look at the trading economy, you look at the competitive scene, you look at the map-making community, you kind of just work at your own pace for all of those things. You're never really forced into any of them. And ultimately what you get out of it is the task that you just assign for yourself and the gratification of working towards that. Like the prime example I can say for myself that's quite personal is that this summer I've been trying to actually get better when it comes to playing Team Fortress 2 because I'm genuinely not the best of players. That's the goal I've set for myself the past way, and it wasn't prompted on me at any point in playing the game. There wasn't like a pop-up notification at the side that says, "Hey Daniel, if you get 25 good points at playing this game, you'll unlock this thing. Work towards that, you dingus." Nothing like that ever happened. It was just a self-driven goal, and that's what I really love about this game and why I believe to be the healthiest way to actually play it as well. You can just assign your own goals and you're never actually asked to do anything with it. TF2 is sort of like a sandbox, or like a toy box even, for you to play with. I can't say sandbox because that's its own genre, but it is very much a toy box for you to play with, and you just kind of set yourself a task and just work towards it in your own pace. There's no obligation. The game won't ask you to work diligently towards this, and you can just put in as much effort as you feel like. Play it on and off. Play it in your evenings. Spend a whole day playing it if you like. Play at whatever pace suits you. And that I believe to be the healthiest way to play Team Fortress 2 because it keeps it fresh, it keeps it engaging, and it keeps the stress away. Keeps that sense of obligation away, because there's a lot of games that feel just like they're a chore sometimes to actually do everything it has to offer. And Team Fortress 2, thankfully, I can say with confidence, is not one of those games. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this commentary, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Just before we wrap up, I have 2 quick little notices I want to get in, the first of which is the unusual giveaway. I've announced the winner in the Steam group, and they have received their prize. Thank you very much to everyone who participated in the giveaway. We had surplus of 6,000 entries in the end, which is kind of ridiculous. That's far more than I ever anticipated. But thank you very much nonetheless for everyone who took part in that. And tucked away in that little announcement post, there's a little teaser of another notice you might be seeing on the channel in a couple of weeks. Not gonna say anything more than that, but it might be of interest if you're a little disappointed that you didn't win this time. The second thing is TF2 Roundup. It's a new TF2 news series that my good buddy Nyanzak is organising on his channel, and for the pilot episode, I was brought on as a guest commentator. There's going to be a link to it both on screen and in the description, but please do check it out. It's basically a roundup of all the news surrounding Team Fortress 2 and the community in one handy place for you to digest, and it was an absolute pleasure to be brought on for that. Thank you very much to Nyanzak for it. So please do check that out and show your support, because he's going to be making more videos in that series soon. And that is truly it for me for this commentary. Thank you so much everyone for watching once again, and I'll see you with something new soon.